Okay, the next thing we want to talk about, and this is very common, we actually see this quite a bit. This is our carpet. We're going to deal with the tack edging, or we're going to deal with the corner of the room. 9 out of 10 times we see this right here. This right here on the brand new carpet is not because the carpet wears out. This is because the carpet's been pulled apart. Now it's either been pulled apart as when the technician lifted it, pulled it apart. Of course, the carpet's wet, it pulls the backings apart. A lot of times we see this carpet being replaced, and again, if we're dealing with one room with this carpet and it's a 10 by 10 room, that is a lot of carpet to replace for a little section like that. Two ways we handle these, and we do put these back together, is one, we'll actually, if we have enough stretch in the carpet, and we normally do, we'll cut out the laminate section, power stretch the carpet back in, put it back the way it needs to be. In this case, we're not going to have enough. We're going to have to put this back together. What we're going to want to do is put a nice coating. Make sure it's nice and filled, and press it together. Of course, we're going to see that. Alright, once we get it in, it does get messy. And of course we're going to heat it real quick, put pressure on it to get it back together using the same thing we did with the patching. I left one section open on this so we can look at the difference. And once we're done, I'm going to let that cool down, but once we're done, these backings will be put back together, and if I kept going, the backings will actually come back together. Now this is still warm, but like I said, we would go through this whole process of putting it back together. I used yellow, but just to give you an idea, let me show you this. This glue, once it actually cools down, it stretches and it's hard to rip apart. You put this back on a tack strip, you stretch the carpet back in, this stuff will not move, and it actually puts a strength back on the carpet on that edging. It takes a little bit to actually rip the stuff apart. And if you look, it takes quite a bit for me to rip the actual backings apart where it's almost tearing apart. These pieces are back together, and this is actually stronger than the original glue that's on the back end of this. One thing that you need to know about carpet, when they make this carpet, the latex glue that's put between these is actually dipped in hot water to get the glue to activate and actually hold these back together. So when we actually heat it up and we put glue back in there, this is normally going to be stronger than the original glue on here. So tacking this back in, moving it, tucking this back in, or putting it back down on the tile edging is no problem.